All right, Panther fans. So, last week you guys alerted me to the Panthers coming out with their quarter century team. They've got the first team and second team. Guess they've picked looks like six forwards and two defensemen and four defensemen and a couple of goalies. So they've picked what they feel. I assume this was the team that put this out. Not really sure. But it's good fodder for discussion. So I went ahead and looked at it. And shocking, I know this is going to come as a surprise to some of you that I have some disagreements with this. I know that, that's very shocking for all of you that I would not exactly agree. So let's look at it. Now, I'm going to tell you right off the bat. Well, let's just talk about the teams. The first team is Barkov, Huberdeau, Tkachuk, Ekblad, and Forsling. And then they've got Luongo as the first team goaltender. And then the second team is Bure, Jokinen, and Reinhart, Bouwmeester, Svela, and Bobrovsky as the second goalie. So I will point out the places that I completely agree with. Obviously, Barkov. Okay, I definitely agree there. And in terms of Forsling and Ekblad, I absolutely agree that Forsling should be there. And in terms of Ekblad, who else? It is not a long, illustrious list of former Panther defensemen. And just for the sake of his longevity, injuries or not, and the fact that we won the cup with him, okay, I can't really make too much of an argument about that on the first team. As far as the second team is concerned, Pavel Bure, I will agree with there unequivocally. I can't speak. Svela, I'll agree with there. Now, that leaves a lot to disagree about, so let's talk about that. Now, I didn't mention Chucky. He's on the first team, and I did not say that I completely 100% agree with that. And let's start with Huberdeau being on the first team. I'm going to take Huberdeau and put him to the second team and put Jokinen on that first team. Now, why is that? Well, I did the research, and as best as I can tell, I checked all the names I would think to check. Jokinen, as far as I know, is the only Panther to have 5 consecutive seasons with 25 or more goals. Barkov hasn't done it. Huberdeau hasn't done it. Reinhart will do it, assuming that he stays with the team, and he's healthy. But right now, Jokinen is the only guy to do that. So if you're going to put a player on that first team that's not been part of the cup, I think Jokinen should go there and Huberdeau goes to the second team. Now, the last forward on the first team is Tkachuk, and the last forward on the second team is Reinhart. I'm not so sure. I'm really not so sure. Now, Chucky came in and changed the culture, at least made a big dent in the new culture, right? So we can't take that away from him. And that first season where we did not win the cup, he was an absolute monstrosity of a beast. We know last year what the story was. He was coming back from the sternum. He wasn't quite the same guy, but he still contributed. And he did have a nice, good, solid playoffs. Nothing like he did the first year, but then we won the cup. But why would we just automatically choose Chucky over Sam Reinhart? The dude almost had 60 goals last year. He's on pace for about 50 this year. And I believe, to be honest with you, that Reinhart is a more well-rounded player. That's just my opinion. So I understand the inkling to put, oh my God, we got to put Chucky on the first team, right? Because, everything changed when he came here. But when you kind of dig a little bit deeper into what each player does and the numbers and what losing that guy would mean to the team, I kind of think that I want to put Sam Reinhart in that first spot and maybe move Chucky to the second team. No disrespect to Chucky, but let's put it this way. The team as constructed right now, if we lost Tkachuk, I would not feel like it's completely over. But if we lose Reinhardt, that's too many goals. That's too many goals to lose. That's too much threat shorthanded. Chucky's not really a threat shorthanded, right? He doesn't even kill penalties. Too slow. So when I think about, you know, each player's value to the team, I think Reinhardt's more valuable. And I think Chucky was kind of the emotional pick there, right? A lot of people just saw Kachuk there and said, yeah, of course he'd be on the first team. But I don't know about that. Now, like I said with the defense pair, Ekblad and Forsing on the first team, okay, I got no argument there. Now, in terms of the second team, Svela, I agree with. However, with Bouwmeester, and this is a tough call here. Now, I thought for a little bit about maybe putting Jovanovski in that spot, but I can understand the argument why that wouldn't happen. The guy I think that belongs there is Dmitry Kulikov. I think I counted him up. It was either 6 or 7 years he had gotten with us before we traded him, and then comes back and doesn't just win the cup with the team, but is a huge part. I mean, it's Kulikov saves the game, right? He's the one that moves the puck away from the net in Game 7, starts to rush down the ice on Reinhardt's game-winning goal in Game 7. So it kind of feels that to leave him off of that list. I mean, no disrespect to Bouwmeester. I know he was on some kind of lousy teams, but it feels wrong leaving Kulikov off of that list. Now, Svela, some people may not feel like he belongs here. I do, but I'm from that era. Jovanovski, I'm just not sure that he made enough impact for enough years. When he came back to us, he had one decent year, and then his body kind of fell apart on him. And, of course, we didn't win a cup. Now, let's get to the stickiest situation that we have here, and that is which goaltender is on the first team and which one is on the second team. Now, Luongo obviously had 2 stints with the team, had many more years with the team than Bobrovsky's had. However, Luongo was, right, 0 for 0 in Stanley Cup Finals, and Bobrovsky's 1 for 1. That's 2 more Stanley Cup Finals for Bobrovsky than Luongo got us to. I can't put Luongo first. I know he was here longer, and his numbers were better, and he was more consistent longer, but we won the cup with Bob. And I just don't see how you could not put him at number 1. It would be, and this is kind of a silly analogy as I'm thinking about it, but what the hell? If the Dolphins won a Super Bowl with Tua, would Marino still be the best guy because of all his stats and longevity? Maybe so, but Tua's numbers are nothing like Marino's. So I can see the inclination there to put Luongo there first because of the length of time he was with the team, and he did have some spectacular numbers, but no Eastern Conference championships. Did we ever even win a round with Luongo? I don't know. I'm going to double check that here, but I don't think that we did. Now that I'm sitting here thinking about it, do I have his stats up? Yeah, this should be him. Let's go to his postseason stats. So he was only in the playoffs with the Panthers 1 time. So 6 games. The Islander series, right? That's the one that we lost. Is that the one that he was in? 15-16. Yeah. That is the Islander series. That's the only playoff performance at all that Luongo had with the Panthers. Not exactly his fault, right? It's not Luongo's fault, but there's no way you could put him ahead of Bobrovsky, who's got 2 Eastern Conference championships and a Stanley Cup. I'm sorry. I love you, Roberto, but I can't. You got to put Bubba 1. You got to put Bubba at number 1. So that was it. Short and sweet. My voice is still going on me. Now I'm recording this before the game. It is Monday afternoon at 3:15. I'm recording this. We have who the hell do we play tonight? I believe it's Colorado. I'm not sure. It's 9:00. But I'm going to have this out to you in the morning. So I'm going to schedule it to be released. So that's it. Not too much disagreement there, right? I'm curious. I'm curious to what you all believe. Do you agree with me about Luongo, Bobrovsky, Reinhart, Kachuk? I have a feeling many of you will agree about the Reinhart and Kachuk thing. And what about Jokinen instead of Huberto in that top spot? The one guy that I think nobody can argue with is Barkov, right? And to some extent, Forsling. It'd be tough for somebody to, show me the reason why Forsling shouldn't be on the number one team. If you think Ekblad should not be on the number one team, who else? Kulikov and Forsling? That would be a stretch. That'd be a bit of a stretch. But Kulikov belongs in that top four, just for no other reason of what happened in Game 7. So, all right, appreciate all the support. Like, share, subscribe, comment. I'll see you later.